G'day folks, welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3. We're still hanging out here in the Harper base, and we still haven't had a chat with Jaheira just yet, but we are going to in this episode, I do promise. But the first thing that I want to do is just have a look around, obviously, in this upper level, and we should be good after that to hopefully continue on with the story. In the previous episode, yeah, we had a chat with various people, met Raphael again. Unfortunately, I didn't remember that Astarion wanted to speak to him, and yeah, sort of regretted that interaction without Astarion, but I suppose he can have another chance later on at, you know, asking his questions. Unfortunately, he doesn't really want to share what questions he is meaning to ask, because we did speak to him about that in the past, I remember. But anyway, unfortunately I did not remember at the time we were speaking to, or we had bumped into Raphael before actually starting the conversation with him. He has a tendency of just disappearing off into the ether, so that's what makes it kind of difficult.
Might be useful.
Alright, will we see everything? It might actually be better if we just, like, untag all of our folks who are just, like, shuffling along with us.
Mug of ale, 4 CP. Chopped cheek, 3 SP. Daily special, inquire.
Let's see. Did I not open all of these? I thought I did. Okay, and let's check out whatever's going on over here. Who knows what's happening right here? Perhaps maybe this is what's protecting the entire place, some kind of a ritual. Oh, there is actually a person here. Definitely want to be having a chat with them. We'll jump back inside for the time being.
Don't be shy. Have a gander at the finest stock.
My guess is whatever's going on in there is where we get the Selunite blessing. Okay. Is there anything up top, like on top of the house itself?
Premium trinkets and doodads.
Maybe, maybe not. So I'm thinking of just going down and having a chat with Jaheira initially, and then coming back up here and discovering what's in that room. So that's what we'll do. Oh yes, and I did forget that there's all sorts of stuff going on over here which I haven't looked at.
Last night's best
Barkus is here
right
as
here.
well.
Ah, you.
Do I know you? What happened to the other gnomes you were with?
Don't know, don't care.
Yeah, he kind of had a bit of a falling out with them, right? I think they all ditched him for Baldur's Gate. Hello, Barkus. How are things?
How are things? How are things? Well, I've been through worse. I'll soon be off to Moonrise Towers to look for my friend, Wulbrin. I understand you might be headed in that direction as well.
How did you make your way through the shadows?
It helps to know when to close your eyes and run. I bumped into this inn before any nasty shadows got their tendrils on me. Now, I've only to find my way into the towers.
I guess he just got lucky then in that case. I'm going to Moonrise Towers too. Why don't you let me look for him?
You wouldn't even know what he looks like. Then again, my track record is, well, discouraging.
Then it's settled. You stay here, and I'll search the towers.
That's very decent of you. Very decent of you indeed. But I won't stand idle. I've spotted an alchemist's scales, and had already been cooking up a little something that might help against those cultists. I'll get to work on the brilliant retort. You get to work at the towers. Deal?
A brilliant retort? What's that?
A new type of smoke powder. All the bang and boom of the original, but with an extra surprise. Guaranteed to end any and all arguments or protestations.
Explosives then. Alright, it's a deal.
Very good. Very good. Very good indeed. Now, you, off to your heroism, as it were. Some of us are counting on you.
Yep. Alright, we'll see what we can do to find that Wulbren fellow. Have a look around further. And we do need to have a chat with Mol, don't we? I'll do that after Jaheira. And we also have like this book here on Greater Healing Potion, so maybe we'll be able to learn how to make a healing potion by reading this. I can't reach it. Oh, okay. How odd. Maybe Jaheira needs to move before we'll be able to have access to it. Maybe.
Don't be shy. Have a gander.
An old
at the
map of the
finest
region, which was corrected by hand as the surroundings were explored. The notes include: the entrance to the city is blocked by a powerful curse. Moonrise, a hub of wickedness. Toll house, embankment, point of attack. Distillery, supplies. Abandoned house, the shadows lengthen. Okay, let's have this convo.
Premium trinkets and doodah.
Please, be welcome. Have a drink.
My gods!
To your very good health.
Keep it together, Karlach. You'll have to pardon my friend Karlach. She's very excited to meet you.
Yeah. I mean, it's an honor, milady.
I will gladly drink to your health as well, Karlach.
Let's smell the wine first, just in case.
You perceive a faint hint of cloth grass, a herb that is said to elicit the truth. Jaheira smiles at you knowingly.
It doesn't spoil the taste, if that's what you're wondering.
No, but it spoils my trust.
Indulge me.
We might need to admit to all the stuff with the tadpoles and, you know, because we've withheld some information from her, but also we've killed a few of the Harpers on our way here. I wonder if we're going to have to tell her that. Will we just straight up go into combat if we decline the drink? I guess we can redo all of this. It's not too far away from the beginning of the episode. So let's decline the drink and see what happens first.
You don't know what you're missing.
Or,
Well over a century old, and yet it hasn't lost a hint of flavor. Still not quite so sure about you, though. People tend to lose more than just flavor when illithids get their hands on them. I speak from experience. There's an air about you. Something alien. Answer me true and do not lie. The parasite is changing you. Isn't it?
I was gonna say, perhaps maybe if we don't drink the wine, perhaps maybe we don't have access to the Selunite blessing or something along those lines. But, maybe we can still get through. Oh, we've got a disadvantage. We've been indulging in the illithid powers. Use the lowest from 2d20. Plus 1. I see now why you spiked my wine.
Just answer the question.
I mean, we're definitely lying if we said that, you know, it wasn't changing us. I think I'm going to have to go... I don't really like all three options, including deception. So I can probably just tell her the truth. I just don't agree with the last statement because, you know, if we do find a cure, perhaps maybe that's what we're going to try and do, because that's what kicked off this whole quest in the first place, right? Yes, the parasite is giving me powers I have never had before. It's changing me for the better.
Look around you. Good men, good women. Stranded here, 2 feet in the grave. If we're to survive, I have no choice but to trust you. Can I?
You can trust me.
Good. Because I'll cross your heart myself if you break it. I have every reason to be cautious. I've traced people like you. People with parasites in their brains. All the way here from Baldur's Gate. The cult of the Absolute is spreading through the city. Quietly, quickly, and with unsettling deliberation. We tracked them to this ancient village, only to be faced with a man we killed and buried over a century ago.
A man who they killed and buried over a century ago. If he's back, perhaps you should have hit him harder in the first place. Yeah, let's go with that.
Believe me, he was well and truly dead. I locked his corpse in the Thorn Mausoleum myself. He was a Sharan once. Took to building an army of dark justiciars beneath this very village. Alongside the local druids, we made it our business to see him deposed, dead and buried. But he's returned. Not only does General Ketheric Thorn live again, it seems he is no longer mortal. He has become, in fact, invincible. We met him on the road here, commanding an army of the Absolute, intent on destroying Baldur's Gate. I put an arrow through his eye myself, only to watch him pluck it out like a splinter. He healed right in front of me and chased us into the shadows. Things looked hopeless, but experience has taught me that no matter how bleak things look, there's always hope. You are that hope.
What do you have in mind?
Protected by your artifact, you can infiltrate his forces at Moonrise Towers, posing as a true soul. Find out what it is that makes him invincible, so we can strip him of his advantage. Once Gaderick is without his shield, the sword, together we assault his tower and put a final end to this blight.
That sounds pretty good to me. It was probably going to be our plan initially anyway, to sort of go in there. Not in disguise, so to say, but we're sort of posing as one of them. You want to make use of my infection, and I want to be cured of it.
Any cure starts with understanding the disease. Whatever magic Gaderick's using to control these tadpoles, it must be at Moonrise. Until then, we keep drinking wine when we meet.
How do I reach him? The towers are surrounded by shadows.
You're not our only secret weapon. Isabel, a faithful cleric of Selûne, and a light in the darkness. She cast the moon shield around the inn. It's the only reason we're still alive. She's upstairs in her chambers. Tell her I sent you, and she'll see you through the shadows safely.
Cool.
Premium trinkets and doodads.
So that's kind of our next stop. Although, I do want to have a chat with Moll, if we can find Moll.
Ain't my neck of the woods.
Ah, there she is. So let's have a chat with her, and we're gonna see if we can try and convince her not to take the deal. I just need to make sure that I'm not wearing things that are going to be detrimental to us, so... I really do need to tuck away a few things, but I think it's a strange conduit ring that we were wearing previously. This gives us -1 charisma, yeah? Yeah, okay. And yeah, again, even more stuff that I now need to tidy up. Bear with me, guys. Yeah, I don't know if we're really going to be using Snowburst Ring, but everything's just going to go to camp for the time being. Right. Shapeshifter's Boon Ring. Right. Moll?
Nice strategy back there. If we put our heads together, I bet you and me could make a tidy stack of coin in Baldur's Gate. But Raphael's offered me a partnership already, and it seems like a sweeter deal than throwing my lot in with you.
No, kid. No.
Alright, we'll try our best to get Moll out of this situation. Raphael is a real literary? Sorry. Raphael is a real literal devil. You and your soul are in danger, Moll. We need a 14 here. I could use Voice of the Circle. We may as well. I mean, 14 isn't super high, but I feel like using this because I do want to do a long rest before we leave this place. So we'll get it back anyway. Come on. Yeah, okay, good.
You aren't joking. I kind of believe him more now than I did a minute ago.
What exactly did he offer you?
Protection for me and my kids, that's all. Not that it's any of your business. I'm not poking my nose into whatever trade you made with him.
I'm not judging, Mole. Only curious about the details.
Safe passage to Baldur's Gate. Safe from everyone. Like Zev was supposed to do. Look, you saved us. Not knocking that. But after you left, Zevlor lost his nerve. Gave up the fight. I won't. Now there's no grove, no coin, no one taking us to the city. I'm not letting my crew get eaten by shadows. Maybe I'll make a deal, maybe I won't. But it'll be my choice, not the devil's, and not yours.
Okay, I don't know if we really succeeded that. I wonder if we really needed the insight check to be successful before we could have convinced Mole otherwise. Let's have a chat with Karlach.
One of the worst things about getting old. Watching kids make the same exact mistakes you made, and knowing there's absolutely nothing you can say to change their mind. Then again, Mole's a hell of a lot smarter than I was at that age. Maybe she'll figure it out.
She will. She's clever. Frighteningly so.
True enough. She'll go far in the city. We've just got to get her there safely.
Okay. Let's take a look at the journal. We need to complete this one. Seek protection from the Shadow Curse. So... yeah. Well, it still kind of says the same thing, but I guess we might complete that once we have a chat with this, this person. I forget, her name. Selunite Priest.
Premium trinkets and doodahs.
Still breathing, despite everything.
Okay, what is going on here? Isabel's room. Isabel's diary. And that's Isabel over there. We could probably have a read of her diary. Don't know if she's going to be cross with us if we did that. She's not here to see us do it, right? Like, it's not like we're going to take the thing. A Selunite robe. 11 armor class. Light armor.
Don't be shy. Have a gander at the finest stuff.
I mean, we'll take everything, because we'll probably just sell all this stuff. Crescent Moon Earring. Another one of those robes. An amulet.
Last night's best bargains right here.
These even worth anything? Yeah, they are. A little bit. Oh, it's not showing up as red anymore. What's the deal with that? It was before. Ever since I returned, there has been a filth in me. I feel it in my very lungs. I cannot get it out. It will never out this death that reeks within me. There are some things even the Moon Maiden cannot heal. There are some things she would never accept in her devoted. I should never have come back. Okay.
Listen.
Let's do a quick save here, and we'll step outside. We'll see what happens. Isabel.
I didn't realize I had an audience. The true soul who's going to save us all. I'm Isabel. Pleased to meet you.
I may have the parasite of a true soul, but not the mind of one.
Bully for us. We've been waiting, hoping against hope, for someone like you. Free from the Absolute's influence, yet able to walk among cultists. It's almost too good to be true. But I'd be a poor cleric indeed not to avail of a blessing when I see one. Let me guess. Jaheira sent you to beg a protection spell off her favorite cleric. Perfect. It'll make you immune to the lesser effects of the Shadow Curse, which will get you closer to the towers. But there are places it won't help. Places where the curse is darker, stronger. The cultists are able to traverse even the deepest shadows, though. I don't know how. The Harpers are trying to figure it out.
No, it's definitely those lanterns, but... Okay, so this is only going to help us for certain areas. I don't know how much closer we're going to be able to get to the tower with it. Perhaps maybe a good test would be to go out to the tower entrance and then to see if we can sort of backtrack from there. Anything else I should know before heading off?
Ketheric is a frightening man, but you have something he doesn't. Allies worth having. While you're busy in the towers, I'll be sure to... Wait. Do you hear that? Something's wrong.
What?
Hello, Isabel.
Marcus, is that you? What's happened to you?
I've been blessed. You can be too. Come with me, and you can hear all about it from Ketheric himself.
I say we follow the winged freak. Isabel, do you know this man?
He's a flaming fist. Or was. Came with the others when we created this haven.
And I thank you for your hospitality. True soul, my instructions are clear. Take the girl to Ketheric, alive.
Yeah, let's probe his thoughts for more information. It's only a 6. I mean, we could roll a 1 though.
mind's eye, its instructions vivid in your mind. Nothing is more important than bringing the girl alive.
What's going on? If you have something to say, say it.
Marcus is trying to kidnap you, Isabel. We're going to need to fight our way out of this one.
Pathetic. The Absolute sees all. Your treachery will be punished.
The Absolute. Of course. You can't believe them, Marcus. Ketherick will never give you whatever it is you've been promised.
He already has. Time to go, Isabel.
Oh no!
Moon Maiden, guide my hand.
Okay, let's do this. Perhaps maybe we do need to help some of these folks on the outside as well. Not 100% sure, but I guess we just need to focus on what's in front of us first. 86 plus 40. Goodness me, that's a bit, but I mean, we fought something with 300 HP with almost without like breaking a sweat. So maybe it's not so bad. Alright, oops. Let's just think about what we need to do here. So he's gonna go next. I'm keen on ducking myself out of the way. In particular, to avoid any form of AoE attack that he might do. But yeah, we've got a few enemies in some very weird positions here. Even one out here as well. I don't know if we want to just surround this guy and take him out, or if we want to whittle down some of the winged horrors first. Let's take a look at these enemies in detail. Great Weapon Master, bonus attack. Yeah, so can attack a couple of times. Dark Devotion. Extra attack. Feral Instinct. Gain a +3 bonus to initiative and can't be surprised. Opportunity attack. Yeah. Tenacity. He'll definitely be dealing some damage when he does hit. No particular resistances or anything like that, which is good. Good for us. Poison immunity. Right. So not too complicated. Again, I think I'm just gonna tuck Blue away back here. And we'll use... I would have to say we want to use Hunter's Mark. And yeah, obviously we'll deal some damage from afar as much as possible. Might be decent to do a hamstring shot so we can prevent him from moving around too much. Or maybe not. Alright, let's end turn here. Okay. What was that? Vampiric Shout. Let's do Hellish Rebuke. Very good. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, she's going to do Frenzy immediately. Yeah, we'll get in there. Deal as much damage as possible. Only 50% though. Gonna try and use as many of our skills as possible. Die as well, maybe. Let's do Concussive Smash initially. Dazed, very good. Just need to remind myself what that means. Yeah, disadvantage on Wisdom. Can't take reactions, that's good. Loses dexterity bonus of their armor class. That's pretty decent, which means that we should be able to hit our attacks a bit more often. And yeah, let's do a distracting strike. Very good. Alright, down to 66. I think we have this, hopefully. Depends on what some of the other enemies do. Allies have advantage on their next attack roll against the creature. That's good. Alright, let's... actually, he can't react, right? So that's pretty decent. I might get Karlach to... Not all of these guys have entered combat, it seems. Strange. I'll get Karlach to block the door.
Incoming.
That way this thing can't really do anything to a bigger group and has to engage Karlach. Let's end our turn there.
This is my time.
And will. This might be a good chance for us to use Phalar Aluve. We could do Sing. I'm just checking on our other options here. Brand the Weak. Why is it only 35%? Shatter? Could be better spent with groups of enemies. Yeah, I think I'll do the Sing ability here. Have a lot of things that I can do with bonus actions, I feel. I could dash to generate lightning charges, or I could go in there and do like a pummel strike. Let's sing. Yeah, and then... Oh, that's right. Dash requires an action. My bad. I may as well use this. Brand the Weak. And this will all be slashing. I think this might be piercing damage. Let's do slash. Okay. And I think we should just get him surrounded. So if he decides to move around, he'll take plenty of opportunity attacks. I think that's it for Will.
Victory awaits.
No holding back.
Victory awaits.
Okay. Gonna do plenty of damage here. So... firstly, fainting attack. No longer distracted. Soul Breaker. Is that 1 HP? That's a bit frustrating. Who's going next? Okay, all of these winged horrors. He'll probably go next, and I'm really not keen on that happening, so perhaps maybe we could just do Action Surge, finish him off. I'll just take a regular attack here. We'll save our die for other enemies. Good. And she can actually make her way out this way. We may as well do that. Menacing attack.
I will not know failure.
Big whiff. Ah, dear me. Alright, that's fine.
No holding back.
So we've got a couple of melee guys on this winged horror here. I'm thinking it's probably a good idea for Will to perhaps... Oh, I was thinking, do we block the door? But maybe not. Maybe we come back this way and make this winged horror come to us. Will also affect more people with the song. I might need to step forward just a little bit. And yeah, I think that looks good to me. There's so many of them. Oh my goodness, I didn't realize they could just like fly in there. We need to save Isabel, I think. Oh my god, she's surrounded.
Your penance will be paid now. You'll make excellent fertilizer.
You'll make excellent fertilizer. Okay, so she's healing herself. That's good. That's good news. That's difficult terrain. Let's do that. And let's take a few attacks here. Ooh, nice. That got up to 20. That's really good. Let's move blue to this side just to get the song in, and we'll end blue's turn there. Actually, maybe we'll leave that for the time being. Let's just take a look at what other people need to do. Karlach. Karlach is still... yeah, so she's still in frenzy mode, which is good, which means we should be able to do like frenzied strike and stuff. Let's get in close in that case, and let's just finish this one off. Frenzied strike. And another attack. Very good. Alright, and Karlach... I don't know what ice does for our movement, but hopefully we can still traverse okay.
Soldier.
I guess she could potentially like slip or something and become prone. Possibly.
Blood comes easy these days.
Will. Oh, actually, no, it's blue. Will?
This is my time.
We want Will to try and get in there and get closer to these horrors. I'm thinking maybe even Misty Step might be a good idea at this point. Just to, like, get out of the icy area. Maybe even here is not bad because we should have sight lines on both enemies. Good, and now we should be able to do, I would say, Eldritch Blast. Yeah, let's do it. I'm quite confident that Jaheira can tidy that up.
Nothing will stand in my way.
And then Lae'zel. Lae'zel... yeah, this is difficult because of the icy terrain. Just try and get in as far as we can. Oh, no. Bloody hell. I'm gonna do Misty Step with blue in the next turn. Very good. I think we've only got like one enemy remaining, right? So, all things considered, this attack went pretty well, though Mol has been kidnapped. We need to try and do something about that. Oh, that is sick. I'm sort of hoping that when we do eventually get access to Halsin, we'll be able to get him to shapeshift. Shapeshifting seems pretty cool. Let's do that. And let me just have a look at this. Turned. In 3 turns remaining, the affected entity must move away from the creature that turned it. Can take actions, can't take actions, bonus actions, or reactions other than dash or try to escape an effect that prevents movement. I think we've seen this spell before. I've just not really seen, like, as in I've read the turn spell before, but I've not actually seen it in action. Or perhaps maybe I'm misunderstanding. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Yeah, I mean, let's tidy up.
Another parasite. Isabel, are you all right?
I'm fine.
Marcus has been with us since the start. They've been tracking us this whole time. And that was no random attack. You were the target, Isabel. They know how important you are. But they don't know about you. Ketheric will strike again. We need you to strike first. Discover the source of his invulnerability. Make him mortal so we can make him bleed. Good luck.
We're in more danger than I knew. If something happens to me, everyone in this inn is dead. Like that.
Marcus told me Ketheric wanted you captured, not killed. Why?
Why does a man like him do anything? Power, spite, some kind of twisted personal morality. I can understand why he'd want me dead. Without me keeping the curse at bay, everyone in this inn, everyone intent on killing him, is dead too. As for why he'd want to take me alive, I don't know. And I don't want to find out. Now that we have you, I hope I won't have to.
Once I take Ketheric's head, you'll be safe again.
No mercy. For Ketheric will have none on you. End this.
Okay, what's going on with us? Are we affected by something? Blessing of Salune, yep. Yeah, okay. We had our arms up for whatever reason. I guess maybe we were still in combat mode or whatever. Goodness me. What a bloody mess. I don't suppose any of these winged horrors have anything. Well, clean up on aisle 5. There's some milk here. Can't we give this milk to His Majesty? Does count as stealing though. Okay,
Jahira won't even notice we're gone.
We've got a lot of problems now. I suppose with Rescue the Tieflings, we would end up rescuing Mole as well, perhaps? Or maybe we get a separate quest for that. Resolve the abduction, yep, good. I guess if she was abducted in the end, we could perhaps maybe try to save her down the line. Alright. Even more things to do. Can we have another chat with Isabel? And does she say anything else, I wonder?
Maybe we should ask someone else.
On with you. Unless you want to come back to a gaggle of shadow-cursed harpers.
I still have a few questions.
Go on, then.
This curse seems incredibly powerful. What more can you tell me about it?
It belongs to the goddess Shah. According to the Harpers, it fell here when they defeated Ketheric, the one who tried to have me kidnapped. I suppose they didn't defeat him quite hard enough.
So after we're done here, I am going to go back to the camp and we're going to have a long rest, and I want to interact with Shadowheart, see where the romance options take us from there. But I also want to take Shadowheart out with us because there's a lot to do with, you know, Sharons and Sharon worship. And I wonder how she feels about all of this stuff, right? Like, we haven't really heard much from her. I'm not overly familiar with Selûne and Shar. Could you enlighten me?
Moon and shadow. Light and dark. Divine sisters ever at war. And this place has become one more battlefield. Sometimes life forces us to choose sides. Luckily, sometimes the choice is obvious.
I don't know much about you. Care to fill in the blanks?
I could say the same. But perhaps we should save the trivia till we're on the other side of this thing. Promise not to die, and we'll celebrate with our life stories.
She gives me this air of, you know, potential new companion. Possibly. How did you come to this place?
Right place, right time. When a cleric of Selûne stumbles into a Sharon shadow, she's bound to set it to rights. At any cost.
I really think that if she does join our camp, like, probably gonna have some issues with Shadowheart, but just saying. Right, interesting. Let's group everyone up again. I didn't have my my 2 summons with us in that fight. I have no idea what they were doing in all of that, to be honest. But I think it worked out really well for us. I mean, we didn't even take any form of damage. It was really just Isabel that took the brunt of it. We might want to have another chat with a few more people.
Mole would do the same for any of us. You know it. But how do we get into Moonrise? We can't fight those shadow things.
We could. I beat up those harpies, and they're way scarier than shadows.
You know what Mole would hate more than anything? Bad things happening to us. You've seen what's out there. We wouldn't stand a chance.
That's very true. As much as, you know, Mole is a little bit of a handful, but, you know, she does seem to care about her little gang here. And that's very commendable. Look. Stay put, guys. I'll bring Mole home.
But it's our job to bring Mole back.
Look at him. He's a proper adventurer. And if we got hurt, Mole would be really mad at us.
Fine. But you gotta understand, Mole is family. Bring her back, please.
Okay. So... there we go. You answered our question there. Another thing to think about. Let's just collect all of our, like, instruments that we're never ever going to play. And we'll transfer these over immediately. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe one of these days we might meet someone who could become a bard as part of our group. Don't know who, but it could happen. And I do want to have a chat with... oh, did we see this Alfira before? Can't say I recall having a chat with an Alfira. But we'll have another chat with Jaheira. Again, I'm trying to get to this book. This on greater healing potion. But for some reason I can't get to it. It is maybe in the way. Yeah, weird. Firstly, Alfira.
First cultists nearly murder us, and now we have a traitor on the inside. Can't we trust anyone?
Oh yeah, so she was the one practicing, wasn't she? You can trust me.
I know. You've been there for us every step of the way. It's just all a bit much sometimes, you know?
Nice. There we go. Bit more inspiration. Let's have a chat with Roland again.
We won't even have to go out into the shadows to die now that the cultists have found us.
Scared? Maybe you should have surrendered when you had the chance.
I'd rather be torn limb from limb than given to those bastards.
A lot of talk from this guy, always. Yeah, I think we read that. Alright, Jaheira, what's your take on what just happened?
Traitors among us. A child taken. And still I can only feel relief. If they had taken Isabel too,
Let's just focus on defeating Ketheric.
Agreed. We must end the threat at Moonrise altogether. With your help, we stand every chance of doing just that. I trust that you will.
I wanted to ask you about something.
Then speak.
How did the Harpers first learn of the Absolute?
The same way Harpers learn of anything. Poking noses where they don't belong. We sent an agent to infiltrate this cult. The latest fad among the city's bored nobility, I thought. Until that same agent returned and tried to plant a knife in my neck. My first encounter with a true soul. I'm glad ours ended on friendlier terms. From there, I made some inquiries of my own. Saw firsthand how easily the cult could turn friend to foe with but the twist of a tadpole. And so I gathered my Harpers and came to the source. Moonrise Towers.
I've heard your name before. Where?
Ugh. Some crusty ballad monger, I expect. They have me slaying gods or laying with them, depending on the bard.
I feel your pain. My companion Volo is loose with the truth too.
Volo Thampkedarm? Oh, that old fraud should be dust a century past. But then, lies live forever, and he's half made of this stuff.
You don't seem overly pleased to be remembered.
'Twas a lifetime ago. And for all our victories, the world is no more balanced than when we began. We fight, we die, and we just hope that when our time comes, there is someone else to take our place.
Stirring words. Is that how you inspire your Harpers?
No need of that. Every Harper is a bard unto themselves, I'm afraid. Help me root out this cult, and they can spin stories about you for a change.
Okay, so we are going to try and proceed, and definitely going to be testing out the Blessing of Selune. I wonder if this is something that we just permanently have for all characters now that we've been through all of that, or if we can just pop it back on when we need it, provided we just come back to Isabel. I'm not sure how that works, but at this stage, I feel like maybe we should consider buying a few things and making some purchases here and there before, you know, having a rest. So we've got, obviously, well, Mole is not here anymore. Mole was selling some stuff. Not that her stuff was really worthwhile, but we've got Damon. So we'll take a look at what he has, which I think might be worthwhile. And I'm still
How fares the search?
sort of waiting on, you know, some of the comments and suggestions that you might be leaving from the previous video or maybe the one before that about some good items to look out for. But I might give this a bit of a crack myself and see if I can buy stuff that might be interesting. So, I mean, sort of life stealing. I think this is a no-brainer. It's almost going to bankrupt us. Swordmaster gloves. I don't see too much out of this one aside from maybe giving it to someone who's not proficient and making them proficient in swords. Thermodynamo Axe. Whenever you deal damage with this weapon, you gain 2 turns of heat. What? Engulfed by a vengeful fire. Takes 1 to 4 fire damage each turn, but can use heat convergence. Consume your heat to fuel a powerful attack. The next time you deal fire damage, you deal an additional 1 fire damage for every turn of heat remaining. But we'll be taking some damage, though, as a result, right? So, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Is this two-handed? No, it's single-handed, isn't it? If it's two-handed, I think it would say. Sort of clutching Umbra. Shadow-soaked blow. Strike an enemy, adding your proficiency bonus to the damage. Moreover, if the attack hits, deals an additional 1 to 6 psychic damage. This attack doesn't break concealment. Doesn't break concealment. Possibly good for stealth, then? Thorn Blade. Poisonous Synergy. While concentrating, your melee weapon attacks deal an additional 1 to 4 poison damage. Plus 1 weapon enhancement. Ensnaring Strike. I don't know how I feel about this. I think that's all that's kind of interesting. Might buy that, and maybe sort of Clutching Umbra. It sounds pretty cool. Darkfire Shortbow. Whoa, okay. Resistance to fire and cold. Weapon enchantment +2. And it has haste, which I can definitely get behind. After 15, 7 to 15. But we get the benefit of lightning charges, though. Have a +1 to attack rolls and deal an additional 1 lightning damage. So it's like, what, +2? And we also have the psychic damage because of the ring. If you gain 5 charges, they are consumed the next time you deal damage, and you deal an additional 1 to 8 lightning damage. That's pretty decent. And I think it's still better than Darkfire Shortbow, but again, perhaps maybe someone else can take Darkfire Shortbow and have haste as a spell option to cast. That might not be a bad idea. Harmonium Halberd. Ooh, okay. +2 strength. I don't know. No one's really using halberds and stuff at the moment. And I'm not entirely sure if I'm really wanting to switch up to use halberds. Charge-bound Warhammer. Magical powers only function if bound. Okay, right, so I'd have to go to will. Galvanic currents. Yeah, difficult choices, I feel, all around. Definitely buying Sword of Life Stealing. And probably Sword of Clutching Umbra. Oh yes, and we do need to sort out Karlach's need for, you know, having Damon sort of fix her engine.
Yeah. There's more where that came from. Wish we had stone.
And yeah, the Quartermaster should have more stuff, right?
I wish we had a bloody army.
I sold a pair of boots to that traitor. Can't believe it.
Let's see your wares. Shield of Devotion. I don't really know if we need this shield. I like aid, but I think Shadowheart already has quite a big repertoire of healing spells as it is. Oh, yeah, she has a cloak here. Armor class +1, saving throw +1. I don't suppose anyone can just simply wear a cloak. I guess so. Obsidian laced robe. So this could be interesting. Oh my goodness, 1,500 gold. That's a lot of gold. It's a lot of gold for a maybe piece of armor. Scimitar +2. Looks like a pretty cool looking scimitar though. Shade Clinger armor. Has advantage on saving throws, +1 stealth. I keep sort of not understanding what obscured means. Is that like basically saying when you're in stealth? Or you're in shadow? Or both? Incandescent staff. Again, this is very, very expensive. And I think I mentioned before that, you know, it doesn't seem that exciting because it gives us Firebolt and Fireball. Ranged spell attack +1, so you get a bit of benefit there. But I think +1 spellcasting, what's it called? Spellcasting save DC or something like that. I think that's much better. Just increasing the chances of all of our spells hitting. 1T scale mail. Add your full dexterity modifier to your armor class. Additionally, this armor does not impose disadvantage on stealth ability checks. Ambusher. Gain a +1 bonus to initiative rolls. I think I was considering getting this piece of armor for blue, because we'll be able to bring the armor up to possibly 17 or maybe even 18. Counter shock. When the wearer takes damage while having lightning charges, the attacker must succeed a dexterity saving throw. So, yes, it's synergizing really well with some of the other stuff that we have, but I don't mind switching things up. And we get Ambusher, I quite like that. Cinder Snap Gloves. Protection from missiles. Gloves of the Balanced Hands. 2-weapon fighting. This would be good if we were focusing on melee with dual blades constantly. Maybe Astarion. Yeah, a lot of thinking that I need to do, I think, between episodes. What about this hat? Okay, it's to do with unarmed attacks, which I don't think is appropriate for us. Goodness me. The Cloak of Protection, I think, is a no-brainer. We don't have any cloaks at the moment, and I don't really know if we're going to find any. Could be a waste of money, who knows, but, you know, there's no way for me to know right now. I should probably get, like, a whole bunch of stuff from our camp and, you know, trade with, you know, useless items just to bring the price down a little bit before we even commit to a trade. So we'll do that, and we'll definitely do a long rest before we leave this camp as well, or leave the Harper's base. Maybe let's check in with Astarion before we wrap up this episode, and let's see what happens. I hope he doesn't leave.
Seems like a good moment to talk.
Need something?
Okay, he doesn't even say anything. Alright, I was panicking for no reason. Anyway, this is the episode for now, guys, and by the time we come back in the next one, I would have, you know, organized some of our stuff to bring to the traders to barter. And I'll also bring a little bit of extra cash with us as well to do a bit of spending. Hopefully, I'm not entirely sure, I'm just sort of thinking about the timing of when I'll see some of your comments on items to buy. But if they do come in before the next episode, great. We'll think about some of these items as well. And yeah, we'll continue wooing Shadowheart in the next episode, so I hope you guys look forward to that. But anyway, I am taking a break here. Thanks for watching, drop me a like down below, stay true, and I'll see you guys in the next one.